Marcia here with my Coping with COVID video series. And today I want to talk about mask refusal. So there has been so much in the news these days about people who don't want to wear masks. Some people are saying that it is an infringement on their civil liberties. Some people say that it simply doesn't work. Some people say that if we needed masks, that we would have needed them from the start. So if they didn't recommend them from the start, why are they recommending them now? So let's break it down. Okay. First of all, when it comes to our civil liberties, we need to understand that there are many quote-unquote civil liberties that we don't have. For example, we have to wear clothing in public. We're not allowed to walk around in the all together. That is a civil liberty that we don't have. We have to live in a civilized society, and we have to make certain compromises. So, if we want to walk around naked, we have to go to a nudist camp or a nude beach. We can't just go on the street without clothing. So that's a civil liberty we don't have. We also can't beat each other up in the street. We don't have the civil liberty to do that either. That's against the law. That's called assault. So there are certain civil liberties that we don't have. We can't go to the bathroom on the street, we can't do that either. That's not legal either. There are many things that, we might just say, I should be able to do that. Well, that's absurd, right? We can't, because it is a civilized society, and there are many things that we are not supposed to do and we're not allowed to do in the middle of the street. And for example, wearing a mask, that's one of them that we should be doing. So we might say, oh, but I shouldn't be forced to do that. Well, we are forced to do lots of things. We're forced to pay a fare when we get on the bus. Maybe we don't want to, but we still have to do that. There are a lot of things we have to do because we are living in a civilized society. And there are many things that people would do if there weren't all these rules, which would make our society like the Wild Wild West, which was not necessarily the best of times, So we want to recognize that we are living in a society where there are certain constraints to our behaviors and certain rules that we need to follow, like paying taxes, like paying for our groceries when we pick them up at the grocery store. There are things we're supposed to do so that we are following rules of polite, civil society, ethical behavior, considering other people's needs and feelings, and wearing a mask is one of them. We don't wear a mask for ourselves. We wear a mask so that we don't infect others with any germs that we might be carrying unbeknownst to ourselves. There are many people who are asymptomatic with COVID-19 who don't know that they're infected, and they might be walking around infecting all sorts of people who are more vulnerable and susceptible to the virus. So when we wear a mask, we are saying, I care about my community, I care about my loved ones, I care about my society, and I want to make sure that I am making a positive contribution, and I am not contributing to making things worse, but I'm contributing to making things better. Because the bottom line is we want our society to reopen as soon as possible. We want people to get back to school. We want people to get back to work. We want people to be engaging in their normal activities. But if people keep refusing to wear a mask, the virus might keep spreading, and then everything gets delayed. So if you don't like wearing a mask, but you want the economy to come back quicker versus slower, if you want your kids back in school sooner versus later, then participate in the society that you live in and wear the mask. Yes, it might be an infringement on your civil liberties, but there are many other infringements on our civil liberties that we never even question because we just take them for granted because they've always been part of our life. But you should know that when seatbelts were mandated early on, people were saying, I shouldn't have to wear a seatbelt. It's an infringement on my liberties to drive the way I want to. Well, of course, seatbelts save lives. It's been proven, and nobody questions, well, very few people who have a brain in their head question seatbelts these days because it's been proven conclusively that seatbelts save lives. So wear the mask as a public health measure, as an indication that you care about your community, you care about your society, and you want things to open up faster rather than slower. Please stay tuned. This is Dr. Marcia Sirota with my Coping with COVID series. Keep your hearts open, stay safe, and stay smart, and I'll talk to you soon.